It's no secret that good hunting gear is not cheap. I think I just found the best $100 index style release aid though for bow hunting, and that's what we're talking about today. All right guys, so out here shooting, this is the Stan SoleX index style release aid right here. Pretty awesome release aid. Just kind of going through the motions here with it. Been using it for, I've been messing around with this for, probably like 6 months or so. Just at the range. And I gotta say, this thing feels really nice. And it's only $100. I can't believe that. So I'm gonna rip one more arrow here, and then I'll tell you about the features of this thing, why I like this release so much, and why it's so awesome that it's $100. And it's not just for the, it's what you get for $100 is the amazing thing to me. So this one back. So, Stan SoleX. Let's chat about this thing. Super psyched on this release. Like I said, it's only $100, and I think what you get for $100, the value is incredible. Okay, so let's go through it. This is an index style release, like I said. Got a buckle strap, which is super nice. Stays nice and secure on your wrist. Doesn't had other buckle straps in the past that have kind of annoyed my wrist and scratched at it a bit. I don't notice that with this, which is kind of surprising for the price point that this is at. Another thing is it's got kind of a web connect thing going on here. It's adjustable by these 2 screws right there. You just loosen those and you can change the length of this right here. I really like that because like you see how I like to shoot an index style release is I like to get a full hook around that trigger and really get into it and get a nice surprise shot. With all index style releases that don't have this web connect type of system where you can really shorten up the release, I can't ever do that. I can't ever seem to get my finger all the way around that trigger. So that is something essential for me with an index style release. Another thing that I think is really cool about this is so you have adjustable trigger tension and adjustable trigger travel, okay, which is great. You can set up the travel. You got these two screws right here, bing bang. Each of those is gonna let you adjust trigger travel or trigger tension. So you can adjust the travel so there's no travel in it. You get a nice crisp release. I don't like when there is travel in that release. It kind of puts a little bit of anxiety in my head when I'm pulling through the trigger. And then the tension, which is even more important in my mind. When I first started using index style releases a long time ago, I always set my trigger very light, okay, like hair trigger. You breathe on the thing and it's gonna go. Nowadays, I completely made a 180 on that, and I do really like to have a heavier trigger. That allows me to get my finger all the way around that trigger without having worried that the trigger is going to trip simply by me touching that trigger. So big plus for me with that. You need to have this adjustable guy here to get it short enough, and adjustable trigger tension to get that trigger heavy, so you can really dig into that trigger to get a nice surprise shot like I'm looking for. So another cool feature, this has an auto resetting hook. So once it goes on you, all you do is it's already reset. All you do is you pull down on the trigger and you'll hear a click. So let's see, go like this, and you go. Very slight click. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that's how you reset the trigger. And that's about the gist of it. It's a pretty simple index style release, but the features on it, to me, is just the right recipe for how I personally like to use an index style release aid. I know that's not going to be for everyone, but I think it's a big plus for guys or gals that are looking to get their finger and get that full hook all the way around that trigger. So some things that I don't like about it, nothing's perfect, right? Really the only thing is, well, I'll say two things. There's a big gap right here. That gap is big enough where I feel like debris could get in there and have the release malfunction. There was one time, a long time ago, I was sitting in a ground blind and I came to full draw and I had fallen previously to that, getting to my blind. Landed on my release, stupid mistake on my part, but to not really go through the release and check, but landed on the release. I come to full draw and it turned out there was a rock in the release and it never fully locked. Ended up punching myself in the face. The release prematurely fired. So this has a big gap in it. The other one that I really like is the Carter Like Mike 2. That's like my main index style release aid. There's not a big gap in that one, not a whole lot of real estate for stuff to get in and out to potentially make the release malfunction. One other thing I wish, okay, I said this in one of a previous video that I did. Stan had a Extinction 2 release in the past, okay? I loved that release, but it had some issues with it. There's some malfunctions. One of my favorite things about that release though was the hook was on the opposite side of the release. Okay, this one, it's on this side. This is traditionally where hooks are, is on this side of the release. The Extinction 2, the hook was on this side. Okay, I really like that, because in the video I just recently did, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. I did a video on the effects of face pressure on your accuracy just at 20 yards. And that hook being on the opposite side like that really helped out on the face pressure front, because it was holding the string a little bit away from my face so I could really get into my anchor better with that style of the hook being on the opposite side. So that would be the only other thing I would say that the way that this thing could be better is like put the hook on the opposite side and close this gap up right here so debris doesn't get in that release. Like I said, my main release is a Carter Like Mike 2, the index style release. I really like that. It's a little more beefier in the hand than this is. So I personally, on a personal note, I like how it feels better. But this is my backup. It's in my backpack all the time on all the archery hunts that I do. Ever since I found it, I was like, man, $100, that thing's going in my backpack. I've tested it with my other release and the impact points are the same. And I can shoot it the way that I like to shoot it. That's gonna do it, man. Stan SoleX index style release. If you are an index style release shooter, even if you're looking for just a backup, you need to check this thing out, man. It is a no-brainer, and I think it's an exceptional choice for newer bow hunters especially, man. You'll get shooting an index style release on the right foot, and hopefully you don't create any bad habits. I think this is the right recipe in order to do that. So if you like the channel, please hit subscribe. If you like the video, please hit thumbs up. If you've used this release, I want to hear your thoughts down below, man. And if you haven't, what are you using? Let me know what release you're using down in the comments, man. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Also, along with this only being $100, Black Ovis actually sells this release. So you can go use my code DIALED10 and save even more money. So there you go. Now I'm going. Bingo.